super readers. Hi, good afternoon, or good morning, or good evening, whenever you might be watching this. I am so excited because I know that Mrs. Torres started to talk to you about nonfiction books. And I'm pretty sure she told you that nonfiction means that it's not pretend, it's real. It gives you us facts and we learn new things and it tells us all about certain topics. I love nonfiction books because I get to learn lots and lots and lots of new things. And the best part about nonfiction and being a nonfiction super reader is you get to have those, wow, I never knew, whatever it is. I never knew that. I love those moments when you get to say, wow, I never knew that. So here I have my lovely picture of, let's call him, what do you think, Fred, Bob, Calliope, I don't know, whatever you want to call him. But he has all of these facts going into his brain because as he was reading today some of these nonfiction books, he was getting fact after fact after fact, and they were all going into that super smart reading brain. And there were times where he actually says, wow, I never knew that. Now, I brought along some of my nonfiction books that we like to look at in this house. I can tell you that I personally love the ones that teach me about all different kinds of animals. I like to learn new things about the different animals. So I really, really love this book, the Discovery book, Traveling Through the Amazing World of Wild Animals. And there's so many instances in this book that I had some wow facts where I didn't know that before. And so this orangutan, did you know that he has long fur so that the rain drips off easily? I didn't realize that that's why he had long fur. It's pretty interesting. And there was this page that I thought was super neat because I got to see how each animal is part of these food chains. So the giant gazelle eats the grass, but the lion eats the gazelle, and it all goes in a chain. It's all of these interesting facts that I get to stop and say, wow, I didn't know that before, but I know it now. This book I've read tons and tons and tons and tons of times because this used to be Ben's absolute favorite nonfiction book. And let me tell you, if you are into Hot Wheels and all of the different Hot Wheels racers there are tons of facts in this book. And even though I'm not so much interested in this, when I was reading it to Ben, there really was some wow facts, like the fact that a car that was built way back in 1970 something, they only had 12 of them. And they only let 12 of them out. Amazing. It seems silly to make a car and only have 12 of them. Not many people get to play with that car, huh? But that was a wow fact that I took out of this book when I would read it with Ben night after night after night, all about the different cars and how they were designed. This one is super interesting. I know that there are some friends out there that are really into those shark books. So I thought maybe that I would read a little bit about it because for some of these things might be stuff that you already knew. But then, if you keep reading through and you look at the pictures, even though you might think you know a lot about a certain topic, there's always that one moment in a nonfiction book where you're like, I don't know that I knew that before. So this says, sharks are amazing fish. They live in oceans all around the world. Some like warm water, others like cold water. See, I didn't know that some don't even like the warm water. A few sharks can even live in rivers. Some sharks are as big as school buses. Other sharks are as small as pencils. Did you know that some sharks could be as small as pencils? I didn't know that. I've seen sharks that were probably about this big, but not as small as a pencil. Pretty neat, right? So as we read through nonfiction books, we get those wow facts that we never knew. And that's what makes reading nonfiction books so interesting, because we get to learn lots of really new, cool, and interesting things. So this is your job for today. It's very important. Are you ready? Mrs. Torres and I have assigned you books in Reading A to Z that are nonfiction books. Some of them are fiction. We want you to choose one nonfiction book from your assignments. You're going to choose one of those nonfiction books, read it, record yourself reading it, and I want you to, as you read, think about what's happening in that book. And if you come to a wow fact, remember it. You could write it down, but make sure you remember it. And then Mrs. Torres and I want you to send us either a video of you telling your grown-up about that wow fact that you read, or you can write it down and have your grown-up take a picture and then send us the picture so that we know what that wow fact was. We love to hear about the cool things that you are learning, and who knows, maybe one of your wow facts will be new to us too, and we can learn something new also. Does that sound like a plan? Does it sound like fun? I think it totally sounds like fun, and I am looking forward to reading this huge stack of nonfiction books myself so that I can get some of those wow facts too. Because super readers, they don't read to just read. They read so that they can have those wonderful moments. They read with curiosity. They read with interest. Interest means that you're really liking what you're reading. Remember, Mrs. Torres and I say, don't pick books that you don't think you're gonna like. But honestly, even when I didn't think I was gonna like this book, I was really curious about some of the facts in here. So make sure you're reading with curiosity, my super readers. And now I get to call you my super nonfiction readers. Enjoy, have fun, send us your work, and we'll see you soon.